Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Crawford beats the brakes off Canelo. That's what a lot of people are saying. I'll be surprised. I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised that some people are taking that stance. Not that Crawford beats Canelo, but that Crawford would beat the brakes off Canelo. Now, make sure you like and subscribe and leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wings. Now, look, I don't agree with that, but I do think Crawford, if he fights the right fight, he can get a victory. I think Canelo should be the favorite, but I could see Crawford getting a victory over Canelo. But Canelo should be the favorite because we know Canelo can get a victory over him, right? So Crawford's great, Canelo's great. Canelo's got skill, he's got IQ. Crawford has that too. But let's be real. Canelo's very comfortable at 168. Crawford's comfortable in his skill set and what he brings to the table. So nonetheless, you're going to get an interesting fight. But there are some people who say once Crawford gets in the ring with Canelo, he's going to just outclass him. Now, of course, these predictions are going to continue to pour in over this proposed clash. But I want to say this, right? Two weight divisions is a lot. We know that it's a lot. But what seems to be happening, right? Because Canelo hasn't announced the fight. Crawford hasn't announced the fight. They both need a dance partner for around springtime. And now the talks are gaining momentum. All kind of rumors that the deal is done. We don't know if that's true or not. I don't believe that to be the case. I do believe there's some ongoing conversations. I do believe that maybe some things that are agreed on, but not, the fight isn't signed, sealed, and it's not ready to be delivered to the fans. But the fact that Canelo came out and said, I'm ready for Crawford, tells me that Turkey Al-Sheikh figured some things out. We know Crawford's with it. Canelo seemed like he's with it, but you got to pay him. Now, what I'll say this is when you look at Canelo, when he fought Berlanga's not Crawford, but Berlanga is, so skill-wise, he doesn't have Crawford's talent, but the size that he has, and to see Canelo be able to just cause him to freeze up, especially after he knocked him down, freeze up and not let his hands go. Canelo has seemed to have been able to have that effect on a lot of his opponents since going up to 168. I would have to pull Jermell Charlo into this conversation because Jermell was dominating 154, bubbled up to 168 to face Canelo, and once he felt the Guadalajara and Jalisco power, he said, "Feet don't fail me now," and he started to haul ass around that ring. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean that Crawford is going to do the same thing or react the same way that Jermell reacted. And I think this could work for and against Canelo. Because I think Canelo's looking at Crawford as an easy fight. Now, two things can happen here. When that bell rings, Canelo could just rush towards Crawford and just dust him off and get him out the ring. Or he could rush towards Crawford and Crawford catch him with some shit and have Canelo saying, "What the hell is this? He's not Jermell Charlo. Ay, 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 ay." So I could see it. Two things happening with Canelo just really thinking he has an easy opponent in front of him and stepping to him looking to just dust him off. And Crawford catching him with something that hurt him. I tell you what, if Crawford catches Canelo, he's going to finish Canelo. Simple. So y'all could think what you want. Canelo's not Madrimov. And I'm not saying Madrimov is better than Canelo. But when you look at Madrimov's level of activity, the way he's able to change levels, and the way he's able to work from the first second of the first round to the last second of the last round, Canelo can't do that anymore. Not on the level of Madrimov and not on the level of what Canelo was able to do years ago. It's no secret that Canelo, he's in great condition, but his gas tank isn't top notch. but he's in great condition, much better than me to fight the way he fights for 12 rounds. But guys like Majumov, guys like Bohachuk, guys like Murtazaliev, a guy like Crawford, they fight from the first second of the first round, and they can throw 70-plus punches up to the last second of the last round. Canelo can't do that. His style is different, very particular on his punch selection, very careful when it comes to his punch output. You know, he punches in moderation, but he's looking to time you and make every shot count. That could cost Canelo against a guy like Crawford. If he can't cut the ring off, make Crawford uncomfortable, and start to touch him up, and especially if he can't get Crawford against the ropes, I think Canelo will have a tough time being in the center of the ring. But that being said, you know, Tim Bradley, we all know Tim Bradley. Look, I think Crawford, he must have whipped Tim Bradley's ass, boy, because Tim Bradley, whenever he talks about Crawford, well, he'll make you feel Crawford could beat King Kong and Godzilla with one hand tied behind his back. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Bradley disagrees with anyone out there who thinks Canelo is going to beat Crawford. Now, if you listen to Potato Head Bradley, you know, he's going to come out here and he's going to tell you, man, that he studied Canelo and he studied Crawford. And he believes after his careful analysis and educated analysis, right, that he feels Crawford beats the brakes off Canelo. And I'm here to tell you, man, this guy is so out there and shit with the stuff that he says. If he feels Crawford beats him, cool. Beating the brakes off him, I don't know about all that. But supposedly he had an epiphany. He said he woke up at like 3 a.m. Something told him to study Canelo and study Crawford. And how he just felt that Crawford's going to beat the crap out of Canelo, man. Let me tell you, just because Terrence Crawford used to beat the shit out of Tim Bradley when he was out there sparring him, it doesn't mean that Crawford's going to beat the shit out of Canelo. Okay? But if you listen to Tim Bradley, he'll have you thinking that Crawford can go up to heavyweight and beat Anthony Joshua. He'll have you thinking Crawford can beat Usyk. Again, he'll have you thinking he can go up into a Make America Great again rally and slap Donald Trump. Like, you just ain't, Crawford's just not going to be able to do all that shit. But anyway, Canelo should be the favorite. And I don't know if Crawford will be victorious, but I'm trying to really be fair to Crawford, and we already talked about this. He's got the reach, he's got power, his hands are large, but man, Canelo has everything. Good head movement, good chin, good footwork, good timing. Canelo has everything. Them first 5 rounds gonna be interesting, man. I'd say the first 4 rounds. The first 4 rounds gonna be very interesting because those are the first rounds where those guys are really fresh and anything can happen. Once it gets beyond 4 rounds, I'd say around 6 or 7, then we're gonna kind of have an idea if both of them make it out, especially if Crawford makes it out early. We're going to see I think I'll have a good idea what direction the fight's going. Because I can't see Crawford after around like 7, all of a sudden just get knocked out. I just don't see it. Because one thing about Crawford, like we talked about, he will box and he will move. The one thing that concerns me with Terrence Crawford is throwing that stab jab. If he's throwing that stab jab to Canelo's body, he will get countered. Now, the stab jab is a very effective punch. I just think he shouldn't be trying to throw that shit at Canelo, especially early in the fight. He will get knocked out cold. And Crawford likes to go jab upstairs, jab, stab downstairs. I just think Canelo's way too experienced for anyone to come in there and decide they're going to sit there and throw jabs to his body, standing in the center of the ring. Canelo will counter you. That's just a disaster waiting to happen. Crawford, of course, he likes to fight southpaw. He'll throw the left hand, not really looking to land anything significant. He's just shooting it for speed to blind you, step out to his right and come over with the hook. I think he needs to be careful doing that because he's going to probably run into Canelo's going to duck his head and drop that right shoulder and then counter with his left hook. And Bud could run right into a big Guadalajara, Jalisco left hook from Canelo. But those are the two shots for Crawford that concern me. Him throwing that stab jab to the body. I think he'll get countered. And if he shoots that left for speed to blind you, then step over and come across with the right hook. If he does that, the first time he may get it off. Second, third time trying, I think Canelo will recognize what he's doing, and he's going to throw something to counter him. And I think it's going to be the left hook. He's just going to shoot it, and it's going to land. Where it lands, hopefully it ain't on Crawford's chin, but you got to be very careful messing around with Canelo. But anyway, me trying to see how Crawford can beat the brakes off Canelo, like Tim Bradley said. Look, I'm being real with you. I don't see Crawford beating the brakes off of Canelo. I think he can win, yeah, but I think Canelo should be the favorite. But nobody beats the brakes off Canelo. You know, he fought Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather boxing was, Floyd won, but he didn't beat the brakes off Canelo. You know what I'm saying? When he fought Bivol whooped his ass. But even he didn't really, beat the brakes off him. But he definitely, he beat him decisively. Like, there was no argument there. That's how you're supposed to win a fight. That's how you're supposed to dominate. But getting the brakes beat off you is like what Maidana did to Adrian Broner. That's getting the brakes beat off you. What Terrence Crawford did to Earl Spence, that's getting the brakes beat off you. I'm trying to think, who else got the brakes beat off him where I was like, yo, Wilder and Fury, in them, that second fight, he got the brakes beat off him, but we all know that was some shit. But forget all the crap. The fact is, that fight was what you call getting the brakes beat off you. Very, very rough very hard to watch that fight. Manny Pacquiao beating Margarito. It's another one, man. But anyway, when you think about those fights, now you think about Crawford being able to do something like that to Canelo. Yeah, this is where you got to, keep things in perspective and not allow your emotions to run wild. Because I'm telling you, I just don't see anybody getting it. I don't even think Canelo can beat the brakes off of Crawford. I think he can catch him and hurt him and he can stop him. I do think that's possible. But beating the brakes off of Crawford, I don't see that. But I definitely don't see Crawford beating the brakes off Canelo. But I see him where he could definitely win. And I think he can hurt him. Just like we already know Canelo can do those things to Crawford, but I think Crawford can do it. But I still think Canelo should be the favorite. Anyway, keep cool in the breeze.